Good Friday evening, November 8th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The East Wenatchee City Council passed a new unlawful camping code on Tuesday that makes the act a misdemeanor. The Okanogan County Sheriff's Office says an inattentive driver crashed into one of its patrol vehicles on Wednesday, injuring both deputies who were sitting inside. Expect dry weather tomorrow with very wet weather headed our way Sunday night and into next week. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. A Manson business owner and 3 associates have been charged in federal court with smuggling and illegally importing tens of millions of dollars worth of contraband emission devices from Canada and then selling the devices in eastern Washington. John Wesley Owens of Manson, his son Joshua Owens of Utah, and 2 other men were charged in a sealed indictment disclosed Thursday by U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldrop. The indictment accuses them of conspiring to violate the federal law by importing illegal defeat devices, electronic components, which disable the emission controls that monitor exhaust on heavy-duty diesel trucks. That monitoring is required by the Clean Air Act. Waldrop's office says Owens and his group purchased more than $33 million in illegal emission devices from his partners and their companies over an 8-year period and sold them to customers across the U.S. for roughly $74 million. The charges carry potential prison sentences ranging from 5 to 20 years. The Wenatchee School Board approved a levy rate on Wednesday for the February special election. The board will ask the community to renew their educational programs and operations levy at $2.20 per $1,000 of assessed property value, which is slightly above the last levy rate at $2.10 per $1,000. Levies, which fund items like extracurricular activities, staff like paraeducators, and maintenance workers and other programs, are different from school bonds, which fund school buildings. The board passed the $2.20 rate unanimously. Wenatchee School District's current levy is set to expire in December of 2025. The East Wenatchee City Council passed a new unlawful camping code on Tuesday that makes the act a misdemeanor. The new code makes camping or storing personal property on public trails or parks illegal. NCWLIFE's media partner, the Wenatchee World, reported that people are also no longer allowed to stay or loiter in a park from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. or any time range posted after already receiving instructions to leave. According to the code, violations may result in a misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to 90 days confinement and/or a fine of up to $1,000. Last week, Chelan County adopted a public encampment ordinance which would allow sheriff's deputies to trespass those who camp on county property without permission. The property tax levy for landowners in the city of Wenatchee will get a 1% boost next year. The Wenatchee City Council last night unanimously approved the increase, which is the highest allowable under state law. It will contribute about $50,000 more to the amount of tax collected by the city compared to 2024. The city tax amounts to roughly 10 or 11% of every Wenatchee landowner's total bill, with other taxing districts also taking their share. Finance Director Brad Posenjak told the council that because of differing property values, not all landowners will see the same dollar adjustment. He used the council members' own homes for his example.
Probably half of the property owners in this room, their property values went up. Some 10%. Others, their property values dropped, also almost 10%. So even with this 1% increase, there are some people here whose city portion, sorry, again, I'm just talking about the city portion, their city portion will actually decrease by $42 a year next year. And there's one person up here that their property tax is going to actually increase by $46 for the year. And it's well over the 1%. But that has to do with their property value change.
When we come back, the new signaled intersection at North Wenatchee Avenue and McKitrick Street went live on Wednesday. And Veterans Day is Monday, and local organizations for those who served will once again carry out Wenatchee's annual Veterans Day Parade starting at 11 a.m. on Chelan Avenue. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family.
The Triple Topper's back!
This November, what makes Abby's Triple Topper so great? It's the pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and ground beef toppings piled to the edge. It's a whole lot of pizza at a very special price. Order your Triple Topper at abbys.com.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Save up to $1,000 on hot spring spas or buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. Why shop anywhere else? Central Washington Water. They service what they sell.
Have you ever played that game, What Would You Rather? Where you give 2 options to see what your friend would choose? Well, let's try it. What would you rather? Would you rather have a telemarketer from a foreign call center named David, or a local North Central Washington agent who has been helping folks for over 20 years on Medicare and has 5 offices to serve you, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, what would you rather? Now give us a call at Springwater Insurance. Our phone number, 509-888-2600.
The new signaled intersection at North Wenatchee Avenue and McKitrick Street went live on Wednesday, adding 1 more traffic signal and allowing for both left turns onto McKitrick and U-turns on the avenue itself. It's a step forward in the city of Wenatchee's $6 million mega Kitrick project, which will eventually create a new underpass heading to the riverfront beneath the Burlington Northern Santa Fe railway line. Another wing of the project is also complete on McKitrick between Pershing and Pine Street. There, they have added new curbs, gutters, and sidewalks, new bike lanes, and 9 new overhead streetlights. Research drones will once again take flight over the habitat of the Columbia Basin pygmy rabbit. The tiny endangered creatures are found only in the Sage Steppe of Grant and Douglas counties, and the State Department of Fish and Wildlife is constantly monitoring their population. The drone flights are part of an extended study which will commence next month and continue through October of 2026, with daytime flights happening intermittently over state, federal, and private land. The survey in part is meant to measure the health of reintroduced pygmy rabbits that have been released in the Sagelands. There are only about 100 of the endangered rabbits in the wild. The Okanogan County Sheriff's Office says an inattentive driver crashed into one of its patrol vehicles on Wednesday, injuring both deputies who were sitting inside. It happened outside Tonasket, where the deputies were investigating an earlier collision. The Sheriff's Office says the deputy's 2020 Dodge Durango was parked with its emergency lights activated just before 3 p.m. when the 2008 Ford F-350 crashed into them from behind. The driver of the truck truck was also injured, and all 3 occupants were treated at North Valley Hospital. The Washington State Patrol is investigating the accident. Veterans Day is Monday, and local organizations for those who served will again carry out Wenatchee's annual Veterans Day Parade starting at 11 a.m. on Chelan Avenue. The staging ground is at Wells Fargo Bank in the 300 block, and the parade proceeds south on Chelan, east on Orondo, and then back north on Mission Street. An 11 a.m. ceremony in Memorial Park will feature a rifle salute in memory of those who've fallen. Veterans can enjoy a free breakfast prior to the parade at the American Legion Hall at 8 a.m. Plus, there'll be free hot dogs for the whole community after the parade at Pybus Public Market, courtesy of the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will tell you about Baskets of Blessings, a program that makes sure 500 local families have food for Thanksgiving Day. One more day of quiet weather tomorrow before our weather turns wet with mountain snow. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect, one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Each year, Serve Wenatchee Valley tackles food insecurity in the community through various programs. One of them is Baskets of Blessings, a program that makes sure 500 local families have food for Thanksgiving Day when they might otherwise have to go without. That need is so great this year that all 500 slots are now booked. In tonight's feature story, Serve Wenatchee Valley Director Mike Malman spoke about the program earlier this week with NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz.
And it's, as we're looking at our community this year, I'm new. I've been here 7 months now. And one of the things we've observed, and as I talk to other food banks around the community, they're seeing a lot of the same thing. Demand is up. Grocery prices have risen 25% since 2019, and that puts a squeeze at both ends. Marginalized families are having a harder time buying food, and from our end, supplying food, we had to spend more to buy it. So it's an important time. Typically, a year ago, we were distributing between 10,000 and 11,000 pounds of food a month. We had our first 13,000 pound month here in October. So we're seeing an increased need.
That's like 6 tons of food.
Yeah, it's an enormous amount of food that goes through our doors every month.
Does that trouble you at all, or is it?
Well, yeah, and we don't want to be your grocery store.
Right, I understand.
We want people to find jobs. We want to help people land on their feet. That's why we're a homelessness prevention organization. We're working with families that are right on the margins, helping them get back up on their feet, stay in safe housing, be able to pay their bills. so that they can live, productive lives. But it is very concerning to see what's going on, and a lot of it has to do simply with the cost of everything and people having to make difficult choices.
Not only difficult choices everybody should be able to feed their family, but paying rent, getting to work. A lot of people, we've talked about this before, Mike, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and one bad thing goes wrong, and it can start a domino effect that they can't get out of it. And you're trying to keep that one thing from going wrong, from making it a domino.
Absolutely, and you see it, it's interesting, people that are right on the edge of housing, a lot of them can pay rent, they can't come up with a deposit. They're just right on that margin. So whatever we can do to help folks out is why we exist.
Baskets for Blessings is back. It used to be a big sit down, come eat kind of a thing that Bob Shepard started many, many years ago. Logistically, it's difficult to say the least. This simplifies things a great deal. For $49, folks, $49. That's a nothing. That's a nothing deal. What is $49 from our viewers and your folks buy the people who need what they need?
It gets exactly what you'd expect to have on Thanksgiving. It's the turkey, it's the vegetables, it's the stuffing, it's the cranberry, it's a pie. We provide a baking thing for them to cook their turkeys in. And this decision, it's the whole Thanksgiving meal. We also have, by the way, a Hispanic option that's more catered to a Hispanic Thanksgiving meal. So folks can choose, and then we make our purchase. And doing it and having a gathered meal as existed years ago was great. But we think that it's fun for families to be in their own home, preparing their own meal, the social engagement that happens.
You want the house to smell like Thanksgiving.
The opportunity to gather around the table, give thanks to God, and thank Him for His blessings as a family is something that we think every family should get to do.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your end of the week Friday was a good one. Another typical mid-fall day out there over North Central Washington. We did see a little bit more of those hazy skies too, and more cloudiness. I mentioned last night that we would see high clouds today, and that was the case. It kept our temperatures down a little bit, but I'll tell you what, we've got 3 storm systems that I'm going to talk about coming up, and the one that we're going to talk about for next week, it's going to bring some mountain snow. I think rain will turn over to snow. We're going to concentrate on Stevens Pass. Rain changing to snow Saturday night. Also Sunday, rain changing to snow. And then it's Monday and again on Wednesday where we could see some moderate impacts of light snow on the roadway. So use a lot of caution if you're headed over Stevens Pass early into middle of next week. And we'll talk more, as I mentioned, about that coming up in a bit. Today's high temperature unofficially at 48 degrees. Just 1 degree above where we should be at 47 for this time of year. 60, our record high temperature, and that was set back in 2016. Right in line as far as overnight lows go. We were 32, 33 is our normal low, and 24, our record low set in 2001. Our sun rose this morning at 6:56 and set this afternoon at 4:33. All right, getting you into the upcoming weekend. Tomorrow's temperatures a little bit warmer than today. We're still going to see plenty of cloudiness out there. Unusually on our temperature map for tomorrow, the Columbia Basin are cooler temperatures, 49, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, then 50s for Wenatchee, Aniat, and Chelan, 51 up in Omak, 46 the high in Lake Wenatchee, 48 in Leavenworth, and a high tomorrow in Kashmir, almost at 50. Highs expected to reach about 49 degrees. We do have high pressure that's still up and over the Pacific Northwest, but here is our first storm system. It's this little storm off the California-Oregon coast. It'll bring us mostly cloudy skies tonight. We're going to drop down into the mid-30s, and then that system will get nearer to the coast. Mostly cloudy skies. I think the showers will mainly be in northwestern Washington. Maybe a sprinkle late night Saturday. High temperatures during the day, right around 50 degrees. For Sunday, here is storm number 2, and it's a big one. Cloudy skies, a 100% chance that we will see rain in the evening, heavy rain showers along the Washington coast. High temperatures Sunday in the low 50s, and we're going to continue that Monday morning, our Veterans Day. It's going to be a wet one in the morning, 80% chance of rain, scattered rain and cloudy in the afternoon. We're going to warm up too, believe it or not. Veterans Day high temperature in the mid 50s. For Tuesday, that storm moves just a little bit to the south, and we won't see a whole lot spot during the day. Most of the activity will be in western Washington, but there you go. As we get into Tuesday evening, that's when we will see the wet stuff. High temperatures in the low 50s. And then on Wednesday, there's that next storm, and it's out in the just off the coast of British Columbia. We could see heavy rain on Wednesday from that, a 90% chance of the wet stuff. High temperatures around 50, and then things quiet down somewhat on Thursday. Still a bit of a trough of low pressure just off the northwest coast, so we'll keep about a 50% chance of rain on Thursday. Mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures then staying pretty consistent, right around 50 degrees. Here's your 7-day forecast. 32 overnight tonight, mostly cloudy tomorrow. Not a bad day with high temperatures around 50, and then we get into about a 4-day rainy period. Sunday, evening showers, morning rain on Monday and 54. We'll see late rain in the evening on Tuesday and 52. Wednesday could be a very wet day, cloudy, a 90% chance of rain and 50, and then a little bit better for Thursday, mostly cloudy, a 50% chance of rain with high temperatures then again right around 50 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The Wenatchee Panthers are the District 5 4A girls soccer champions after a narrow win against West Valley last night. Wenatchee scored a goal in the first and another in the second and held on for the 2-1 win to stretch their winning streak to 13 games. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen had the call here on the NCWLIFE channel.
I think West Valley consider themselves a little fortunate.
Second corner kick. The shot. Blocked away, still in the mix, a second try. They're still trying to dump it in, and they do! Doucette. Eva Farias. Farias, the shot, Farias! And Burgess coming up big for Eastman. Now to the right side, the shot across. Oh my goodness! How did that stay out, Matt Wiesen?
That crossbar just turned into a goalkeeper.
There's the shot. And Miss Burgess with a smidge of difficulty, and she went out of bounds. Yes, indeed. Straight up the middle, selling past one, selling past two, entering the box. The shot. Goal, 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 goal. It looked like it was Logan Gross-Didi, Matt Wiesen, but it was a beauty no matter who took that shot.
Looking for that replay of that number right now.
A good touch, the save by Miss Burgess off the shot by Sage Williams. Wenatchee ahead of West Valley Yakima 2-0. A quick run down the middle, the shot. Oh my goodness, and that one sails in. That one sails in.
Go West Valley!
One of the subs going in is Zaylee Stegman. Bit of a bounce there. Cleared away. Still at the edge of the box now. Eva Farias. Their order from the fandom is to blast it. There's a shot, and Burgess coming up big. Blow it up. And there's the whistle that says that in District 5 of 4A girls soccer, the Panthers are second to none.
West Valley will host Eisenhower Saturday in a last chance at state after the Cadets ended Eastmont's season 2-1 last night. Wenatchee West Valley game from last night will be televised tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel beginning at 7 o'clock. Next round of the CWAC teams comes tomorrow in the crossover with winners advancing to the state 2A tournament. Prosser hosts Pullman at 1 o'clock while East Valley plays at West Valley of Spokane at University High School. Cascade kept its state aspirations alive with a 6-0 win over Wahluke last night in the District 5-6 1A tournament. Kodiaks have a crossover game against Lakeside 9 Mile Falls tomorrow at Royal at 3 o'clock. That game is preceded by Royal and Riverside after the Knights fell to Cowan Benton 1-0. Cashmere faces Natchez Valley at 5 o'clock for the district championship. Both teams will advance to state. The Bees are headed for Central Washington University's Recreation Sports Complex tomorrow for state seeding purposes. Brewster faces Pateras in the first game at 11 o'clock. That's followed by Okanogan and Tonasket at 1. Highland faces Cle-Elum for the district title. That will be at 3. State berths are on the line in the prep volleyball as well this weekend. Wenatchee High School is the site for the District 5 4A tournament. Panthers face Davis for the championship at noon in the main gym. Moses Lake will face West Valley in the small gym. The loser between Wenatchee and Davis will face the winner of Moses Lake and West Valley for the last chance to get to state at 2 o'clock. Seala and Toppenish hope to join Ellensburg at the state 2A tournament with crossover matches tomorrow. Vikings host Pullman at 2 o'clock while Toppenish is at West Valley of Spokane at 5. Chelan is the site for the conclusion of the District 5-6 1A tournament. Zillow plays Royal at noon at Chelan High School while Connell battles Omak at the Chelan Community Gym. Winners of the first matches will play at 2 o'clock with the losers of the first matches facing off as well at 2. The 2 o'clock winners will take on Riverside or Lakeside 9 Mile Falls in the winner to state matches at 4. Cashmere and Chelan will vie for the district championship with both teams advancing to state. That'll be at 4 o'clock at Chelan High School. Quincy High School is the site for the District 5 2B tournament. It begins at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Kittitas facing Warden while Okanogan takes on Goldendale. That's followed by Tonasket against Riverview at 11 while Manson faces Tri-Cities Prep. Winners and losers of the first games will play at 1:30 while the district championship will be settled at 3:30. Waterville-Mansfield is once again the District 5 1B volleyball champions after a sweep of Entiat for the title last night. Soap Lake outlasted Moses Lake Christian 3-2 to advance to a last chance at state tomorrow at 11 a.m. in Waterville against Entiat. The prep football season also hits the postseason stage for this weekend for some teams, while others are just finishing up the schedule. One such team was Eisenhower. The Cadets finished with a winning note last night, downing University 38-19. Eastmont plays at Meade tonight at 6 with the winners advancing to the state 4A tournament. Sunnyside also has a chance to advance to state with a 6 o'clock kickoff at Chiawana. Wenatchee concludes its season tonight at home against Ridgeline. West Valley finishes at Walla Walla. Davis is hosting Pasco. Moses Lake hosts Kamaikan tomorrow at 1 o'clock with a winner advancing to the state 4A tournament. Grandview fell to East Valley of Spokane last night 21-20. Coming up tonight, Ephrata hosts Ellensburg at 6 while Prosser hosts Steilacoom and East Valley plays at North Kitsap. Both those games have state implications. Seala visits North Central tonight at 8. Othello hosts Rogers of Spokane tomorrow at 2. Toppenish visits Ording at 4. The winners of those games will also advance to the state 2A tournament. Royal has an early kickoff at Clahoya tonight with the winner advancing to state. Cashmere will host Granite Falls at 7 o'clock, also with a state 1A trip on the line. So too is the case for Omak at home against Connell. Wapato wraps up the season tonight against White Swan. Zilla hosts Mount Baker tomorrow at 2 o'clock with the winner advancing to state. After winning Monday over College Place, the Chelan Goats get a chance to advance to the state 1A tournament tomorrow. On the west side, they'll face Seton Catholic tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Soap Lake beat Bridgeport last night in B football 70-14. Coming up tonight, games that will determine state 2B participants. Cle-Elum at Brewster, Riverview at Liberty Bell, Manson at Columbia Burbank, Warden at Okanogan. Lake Roosevelt also hopes to advance the state with a game at Goldendale tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. In 1B football last night, Oroville topped Moses Lake Christian 44-33. Tonight, Waterville-Mansfield visits Entiat at 7 o'clock. And don't forget the Wenatchee Wild have 2 home games this weekend. Red Deer Rebels visit the Wolves Den on Proud to be an American night tonight at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow it's Military Appreciation Night as the Wild hosts the Portland Winterhawks. That'll be at 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.